Hogash, to start this video, I have a question for all of you. Who is the most hated Prime Minister of all time? I mean, I remember Brown and Blair had pretty rough times, but Starmer, for me, it seems as though he is very hated already. The public and even Labour voters are starting to already hate him, and he has only been in the door 5 minutes. Whilst losing the trust of your own people in such a short space of time is pretty bad. It's so crazy to see world leaders of other countries come out and blast the bloke. So in today's video, we will check out what world leaders have said as they blast Keir Starmer. Our first world leader to blast him is Christine Anderson, who is the German MEP. What she said was, Keir Starmer, I am calling you out on being a disgrace to any democracy. There certainly have been a lot of posts by the UK Home Office these past couple of days. Interestingly enough, almost all of them deal with how determined the UK Home Office is to punish right-wing thugs. All of these posts focus on what these right-wing thugs have done wrong and what they are being punished for. This begs the question, are they pursuing the strategy of punishing one, teaching hundreds? It certainly looks like it. Why isn't the UK Home Office as determined to go after those illegal invaders who slaughter little girls, or anyone else for that matter, just for the fun of it? Keir Starmer, go ahead and have me extradited, so I can stand a mockery trial in your totalitarian regime. Great Britain is no longer a democracy, thanks to Keir Starmer. Deputy Prime Minister in Italy, Matteo Salvini, also blasted Starmer by saying, "This is not how you should be treating your own people." Like, guys, that's from another country's leader. Absolute madness. Argentinian President Javier Milei said, "While other countries propose censorship, we propose freedom of expression." Just look at what is happening in England. Since the socialists came to power, they are putting people in jail for posting on social networks. Then finally we have US Republican Senator Ted Cruz say, "The Magna Carta is on. The nanny state totalitarians are destroying Great Britain." Deeply tragic. So yeah, it's not just the British people that hate this man, it's all of the world leaders. In other news, Israel expects the UK to join in any potential counter-offensive should Iran launch airstrikes or a major assault on Israeli territory, David Lammy has been told. The Foreign Secretary, who visited Jerusalem on Friday to meet his French and Israeli counterparts, expressed his concern the situation in the Middle East was spiraling out of control. In a meeting between the home country's Foreign Minister Israel Katz and France's Stéphane Séjourné, Lammy was told that if Iran attacked, the coalition will be expected to join with the defense of Israel. However, Katz went further to suggest that the UK would also be expected to join Israel in striking significant targets in Iran. Katz went on to issue a severe warning to Tehran, claiming Israel would not refrain from responding forcefully to any harm against it. He added that if Iran did not stop its aggression, it would pay a price soon. Expressing his concern over the developing situation, Lammy warned the risk of the conflict in the Middle East spiraling out of control was rising. He also branded it a dangerous moment for the region. He added, any Iranian attack would have devastating consequences for the region. Moving the conversation onto the ongoing Gaza ceasefire negotiations in Qatar, Lammy said, there can be no delays or excuses in ending the conflict. This is a vital opportunity to secure the release of hostages and an immediate surge in aid into Gaza, he said. The latest comments come as Britain is said to be planning proposals to evacuate UK nationals from Israel in the event of an Iranian attack. The British Foreign Office said around 60,000 Britons are believed to be in the country. A government spokesman said, while we continue to use all diplomatic levers to push for de-escalation, our staff are working around the clock to plan for all scenarios to keep British nationals safe. Our travel advice is constantly updated to reflect the latest guidance. Lastly, a civil war has engulfed the SNP after a veteran MSP had the whip removed for making utterly abhorrent comments about Israel's war with Hamas. Glasgow Shettleston, MSP. John Mason sparked outrage on social media last night after weighing in on Scottish external affairs. Secretary Angus Robertson's meeting with Israeli diplomat Daniela Grudsky. Robertson came under fire from fellow SNP MSPs after meeting with Grudsky in Edinburgh on August 8th. The meeting was described as being in the mutual interest of both Scotland and Israel, with Robertson later confirming he reiterated the SNP's support for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. Ex-Scottish Minister Emma Roddick, who stepped down from the SNP's front bench earlier this year, claimed her heart just sank when she saw a photo of Robertson meeting Grudsky on social media. Former coalition colleague Ross Greer, who helped topple Humza Yousaf as the Green Party, pulled its support earlier this year, also accused the SNP government of taking a two-faced approach by publicly condemning the actions of Israel while conducting secret meetings. Responding to former SNP colleague Sandra White, Mason appeared to add further fuel to the fire. He wrote, "If Israel wanted to commit genocide, they would have killed 10 times as many." Mason added, "And Israel cannot be considered guilty of genocide either. If they wanted to commit genocide, they could have killed 10 times as many Palestinians as they have. Remember, it is Iran Hamas which wants Israel wiped off the map." The 67-year-old, who represented Glasgow East in Westminster between 2008 and 2010, was met with widespread condemnation by SNP colleagues last night. Ex-SNP Westminster leader Ian Blackford said, 40,000 plus dead in Gaza, and you tweet this. You are not fit for public office. You are an embarrassment and not fit to represent anyone. You glorify killing and murder with your obtuse comment. Just go and do it now." A spokesperson for the SNP's chief whip confirmed Mason lost the whip earlier today. To flippantly dismiss the death of more than 40,000 Palestinians is completely unacceptable, they said. There can be no room in the SNP for this kind of intolerance. The chief whip has today withdrawn the whip from John Mason MSP with immediate effect, pending internal parliamentary group due process. The SNP group will now meet to discuss the matter, with a recommendation that the whip be suspended from John Mason for a fixed period of time because of this utterly abhorrent comment. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu launched his onslaught against Hamas after the terror group killed 1,200 people and took another 200 hostages in last year's atrocious October 7th attack. The retaliatory operation has so far resulted in 40,000 Gazans being killed, the Strip's Hamas-run health ministry yesterday revealed. The SNP has been committed to pushing for a ceasefire in Gaza, with Stephen Flynn putting pressure on Sir Keir Starmer to support an amendment to last November's King's Speech. A total of 38 SNPs voted in favour of the motion, with Flynn claiming, "Israel's response amounts to the collective punishment of the Palestinian people." What are your thoughts on Keir Starmer so far? Let me know down in the comments below.